Home she returns to after a long day of shooting that helps Kim reach the #1 goal in her life, and that's harmony. When you made the break, you went north.
Yes.
To Big Sur. What was it up there that attracted you? Had you been there before?
Well, I had both in Vertigo. We shot by the Lone Pine there in Pebble Beach, and I saw the area, and I felt a strong attraction, magnetic feel to it, that it was home for me somehow. I felt it was a beginning.
We often hear Kim Novak and a menagerie. Would you describe your family?
When I met Bob, I already had a goat, 3 goats, and a llama. Perhaps a couple of other creatures, and my horse, 2 horses. But when he met my llama, it was not love at first sight for them, because my llama and I were very close. And every time Bob and I would get together, she would come in between us and be very, very jealous and protective, and quite a threat.
Your husband is a vet.
Large animal vet, right?
And you met him, as a matter of fact, coming to your house to treat one of your animals.
One of my horses, yeah, a new foal that was sick.
And am I correct, he had not seen any of your films, or had he seen one of them when you met?
I think that he had seen a Picnic a long time ago when he was in vet school or something, but he didn't really tie it in with that, and had no sense of anything like that. I think with his first interest, he saw me as, this would be a good assistant because of my interest in animals. I think we approach them from different points of view.
Now, I know your marriage to Richard Johnson, the actor. How long did that last?
Didn't last long, about just under a year. We're really good friends today and have great respect for each other. I just wasn't ready for marriage. I hadn't found me, and if I hadn't found me, I couldn't very well give myself to somebody.
Did you also go into the marriage with Richard, and I'm curious about going into the marriage with Bob, a complete non-professional in the entertainment field. Were you at all a little gun-shy? I remember reading some quotes that you made about when you were in Hollywood and what you represented to men, and the fact that I think you were unable to develop a trust of men because you never know what their motives were. They either wanted to seduce a goddess or be seen with a goddess.
That's right, and I wasn't.
In many cases, the goddess was not Kim Novak.
That's right, exactly.
So it must have been very bewildering.
Exactly.
And then Bob came along.
Who saw me.
Yes.
He didn't know Kim Novak, and it was wonderful because I felt right away that he loved me. He fell in love with me. I fell in love with him. And it was different completely because the ground rules were different. I mean, we came in as 2 individuals, and it made me feel very secure.
Now, with the critters and Bob in this beautiful setting on the California coast, what would drag you out to do this type of work? 4 or 5 weeks on location, 12-hour days. What is it about Falcon Crest?
Several things. But the beautiful thing about shooting a show of this type, you're not shooting the whole time. They're long days, but I may only work 4 or 5 of those hours. But mainly, I probably have off 3 days a week. And especially on location, I'm 2 hours from home. I zip in my car, make it back, and I'm on my horse the same day, riding off in the sunset with my husband. So it's really ideal from that point of view. But also the role intrigued me. And I find the more secure I become as a person with my own life, knowing myself, finding my love, my mate for life, I'm able to come back and truly enjoy working in show business, not all the time, but in the right situation.
Yeah, they describe this as a big family. You've been with them for about 6 weeks now. Is it indeed a family?
Absolutely. From the day I walked on, the first thing Jane did was take and introduce me to each and every person on the set. She knew their name. She made me feel welcome. Instantly, you have the feeling of rapport and harmony. And harmony is probably the most #1 goal of my life. And that's what I'm finding here. As long as it stays that way, I'd like to be here.